This first news story comes to us from Forbes, written by Paul Tassi. This is not the original article. This is part 2 of the article, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it. A deleted Game Informer is now redirecting to GameStop's closure statement. So I guess to catch you all up to speed, if you didn't know, Game Informer was shut down by GameStop, who owned them. This is what they posted. The final level. Farewell from Game Informer. After 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being a part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end.
That's so patronizing the way that it was written, dude.
Yeah.
You guys are gamers. You like me to let me put some charisma in this for you. It's like, bro, just say what you gotta say, like an adult who runs a gaming magazine website, please. I'm not asking you to write a script for this, okay?
Well, according to Paul Tassi here, so GameStop suddenly closed one of the most venerated outlets in video game journalism yesterday, laying off its entire staff, with many being informed by a statement that appears to be written by AI. So that's like the speculation out there. That's what it feels like. Feels like someone just wrote closing statement.
You know what?
And just like AI spit that out.
You know what? You might be right. Now that I'm thinking about it, just because of how corny it is, it makes sense. It tracks.
So corny and no heart, which is wild because like the people at Game Informer are like some of the most passionate people like out there. Like there's some like seriously awesome people there. And it's like, this doesn't sound like it was written by someone who's sad about GameStop or Game Informer shutting down. It sounds like...
Wasn't Game Informer great?
Yeah.
Gamers?
Like, no, this isn't someone mourning. This is someone like, well... Shucks, we're shutting down.
That's
all
it.
Right. Gamer's gonna game. See ya at GameStop later today. I'm surprised it didn't say that. I'm surprised it didn't have like a shameless ad for GameStop. Be like, well, see ya at GameStop later to pre-order the new copy of whatever.
How are you gonna find out about upcoming games? We don't know. We don't have a magazine anymore.
You'll never know. Well, it's bad enough to lose your job. What the past and present writers found shortly after is that Game Informer is not just closed, but the entire website has been wiped from the internet. Not just the homepage, but every single historical link to any Game Informer story in decades. Game Informer was around for 33 years. 33 years worth of articles gone. They all redirect to the AI goodbye message. As a writer, it's hard to understand how devastating this is, as it's one thing to lose your job, but to be unable to point to your past work as you try to move on elsewhere is horrible. Not to mention just the loss of thousands and thousands of great features over the years from a hugely important industry outlet. The only reason this makes sense is that GameStop is trying to cut hosting costs for the URL, ? Like, why else would they do this? It doesn't make any sense. It's a move that's being described by many as evil, which I would agree. At Jump Over the Age on Twitter says, killing Game Informer is one kind of cultural vandalism, but turning the entire site and its archive into a landing page is genuinely evil. This affects not just the recently laid off employees, where the site and magazine had already been cut to the bone from layoffs before this, but now anyone who has ever written for Game Informer has seen those articles lost. There's likely no recourse for this through GameStop, as they technically own that content and are unlikely to simply turn the lights back on out of the goodness of their hearts. Zach Wajnar, I'm probably butchering that. Sorry, Zach. I tweeted out, I'd love to share the first interview I ever published with Grant Kirkhope, but I can't. It's gone, along with everything else on Game Informer's website. This pivotal piece of my history was a grain of sand on the beach that's been completely washed away. And he has a little screenshot of a Google search. So if you can Google search for articles, and they will pop up. And it even says, from Goldeneye to ukulele, Grant Kirkhope reflects on his career.
That's not the point, though.
It has the headline and everything, but as soon as you click on it, it redirects to that farewell message. So there's a movement underway to preserve what can be saved through internet archives and such, though it would be a massive project that would take ages to complete given the volume of what we're talking about here. Gamestop has still not issued a statement on Game Informer's closure directly, again, only publishing a goodbye message with no rationale. I was able to easily recreate passages of this message in ChatGPT with a few uses of the prompt, write a sad goodbye message about the closure of video game magazine Game Informer after 33 years. That's
crazy.
Funny. So they literally recreated the message in ChatGPT with just a couple prompts. And he even has the prompts here, like what he used to get there. If you keep telling it to modify, it changes the words around, but all the structure's the same. Gross. Running it through multiple AI detection sites, they also conclude it's AI generated. The closure of Game Informer is bad enough, but destroying 30 plus years of gaming history with the press of a single button is unconscionable. And redirecting to an apparently AI generated statement is a metaphor for the state of the entire industry. I hope someone is held accountable for this, but at this point, I just don't see how. I've reached out to GameStop and will update if I hear back. This was written on the 3rd, and there's no update. So obviously GameStop doesn't give a crap.
To be honest,
this like hurts. Like I'm feeling like there's almost like a tightness in my chest. Like it's like, oh man, I could not, like, it's hard to even fathom. 33 years of video game history,
gone.
Interviews, exclusives, previews, reviews, all this stuff. Literally just gone. Like that just be like burning a bunch of history books.
Essentially it is for us.
Like for like video gamers. Like, all right, let's just, anything that happened in the past 33 years, we're just going to erase from history books. And it's just going to pick up in 2024. Like what? Okay.
We were talking about
the last 33 years. Like us millennials have gone through a lot in 33 years, you know? Like if he was not talking about 9/11 and the wars and COVID and all, like what?
We were talking about it a little bit before the show, and I was saying that what's really crazy about that is when you think about, like you were just saying, how much has happened, right? Like there's likely interviews with people who were in the industry or like who, you know, have worked on incredible, you know, landmark games who maybe have passed on. Yeah. And that was, you know, one of the big things of, you know, us remembering them was, you know, the interview or, you know, the exclusive piece that, you know, they were able to contribute to Game Informer. And now we have no way of getting that anymore. Now, and that's really upsetting. Like you said, because it's essentially erasing history, right? I feel like GameStop could have really avoided a firestorm. Like people would have been upset, right? But if there was somebody with a head on their shoulders that were like, look, we're going to end up shutting down Game Informer, right? But we're going to archive all our assets and give them to like the Video Game History Foundation. Yes. Or, you know, some kind of unanimously known resource that people can access, right? Or and then the foundation could have just uploaded them to an archive online. You know, It probably would have been what a few terabytes or something like that with all the scans that they would have to do and articles and whatnot. But who cares? We still have it, you know. But they couldn't even be bothered to do that, and that's how you know that whoever is in charge over there doesn't really care about games. Yeah. They just care about it as a business that to make money. Yeah. Absolutely. That's like shutting down Time Magazine, and then now we don't have anything. Yeah, we don't have anything to show for it. Yeah, Time Magazine or like National Geographic, those staples, and just being like, yeah, we'll just delete everything that's ever been published. Any photos, any articles, any interviews, everything. It's all gone. Bye bye. It's gone. Unless obviously, if there's print copies laying around, you can get it that way. But I think they stopped doing print. I want to say 2015. Well, 16? they started doing digital in 2015, but I still offered print. I think the print thing was stopped. I think you had to sign up for the print. Yeah, it was a little bit extra money. Like it was like a couple extra but they still had it. So technically, like you could go back and rebuy all print stuff, but I think even print, like they went all digital in like the last year or two. So it's like, all right, so there's at least recent stuff that's just gone 100%, unless someone downloaded a PDF version off the site, I guess, which I don't think they even allowed you to do that. You had to view it through their viewer. and then, yeah, like if someone's going to go through hundreds
thousands of copies of Game Informer and scan them and upload, and that's even if they're in good enough shape to do, you know?
Right.
And even then, there's exclusive stuff that was just on their website that wasn't in print. That's another thing. So obviously a lot of the big things did end up in print. So if someone could if there could at least be copies and scans of these print copies, that would be awesome. But man, what a sad moment. When I saw that, it was just like, I don't know. I just like, I had so many
I didn't even want to
memories.
talk about it.
Growing up, like I had Game Pro and Game Informer, and I always preferred Game Informer. Like, Game Informer was so good. I loved it. And
I had Game Informer and I had EGM.
Okay. Yeah. I just growing up with those, and just each and every month seeing the new cover. The covers were always amazing. They
had the best covers out of everybody by far.
So freaking good. Like they're on another level with their covers and the features or interviews. I always love looking at the question, like reader questions, people writing in and stuff. They just had such a fun, like silly feel to them too. Like they had fun with it. It wasn't just like very serious. It was like, oh, they're having fun here. So yeah. They had what was that? I don't know if they still did it, but growing up they had Game and Farcer. Was that what it's called? Where it was like the joke,
the rumors.
No, it was like a full, like it was like a fake like joke, or like around April. It was like a joke magazine within the magazine. It was just like 2 or 3 pages, and they just had like made up articles and made up announcements and stuff that they called Game and Farcer. It's like around April they would do it for April Fools, and it was like
that's what they had, like the rumor, like rumor is blank blank blank. Yeah,
it was like, but it was always like wild, completely made up stuff. Like it was just like, oh, you know, like they're painting the White House blue now in prep, you know, for a big ad campaign
for Sonic,
Sonic or something stupid like that. You know, it was great. Man, sad, so sad.
Yeah.
And for the people who lost their jobs too.
Of course, I mean that's a whole nother dimension to it. A great
point too. Like, if they didn't have their portfolio backed up somewhere, those articles they wrote are just gone. Like.
Nuts.
That's insane. So literally, all right, I got to go find a job. You go apply to a job. All right, let me see your work. Sorry, you can't, because they deleted it off the internet.
And I worked at Game Informer for 10 years. So like my last 10 years of work are all gone now. Basically, I have no proof that I'm an actual games writer. That's nuts.
Like on paper, that person hasn't worked for 10 years. You know? Like they worked at a place and didn't put out any product. It's like, well, no, I put out hundreds and hundreds of articles and they're just gone. So, I mean, obviously, hopefully a lot of those people had stuff backed up, but still, if they didn't, or I don't know, that's just so sad. Or for the video interview, like just gone. Wild. Makes me sad. I hope everyone can find some new jobs, can land on their feet. And I don't know.
Man.
I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I hope one of two things happen. Either
they get hacked.
Either there's something happens and all those articles and like backups of the magazines and stuff, they're recovered, or maybe they have a change of heart or whatever. Somehow I hope either that happens, or that the community
they get hacked and somebody takes them.
Yeah. Or I was gonna say, or the community gets together and like about like the behind MinMax's projects and some of the others who are doing like a big archive project, and you know that can be done sooner than later. And that, you know, it can be accessible, because man, what a cool
MinMax, get the no clip team on it.
Oh man, yeah. If like MinMax is heading it up, but yeah, get like no clip behind them and a few other people, and like make a whole documentary out of it. Like get some more eyes on it, get more people involved, even outside the gaming community. Holy cow! Like people can come together and like knock that out like nothing. So I don't know. I hope stuff like that gets more traction, because I have a feeling Game Informer's not going to do, or GameStop's not going to do anything, unfortunately.
No. GameStop makes it easier and easier to not shop at GameStop.
Right? I've already like been on the boycott for years.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is an easy choice. This is a very, very easy choice. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.